This college professor harassing a black student, one, reminds us that everybody who teaches is biased, and often that bias is based on hiding your crazy family history. So this American history professor, Susan Hanson, is an associate professor at University of Dallas, and she has an office with a door. And this black student had a class canceled and wanted to listen to the lecture in a mixed-use space where sound is allowed. Susan Hanson harassed them and called the university cops, who told her they can't do anything because she's allowed, and kept this chaos going until a white male student told her to stop. And she did. Now, Susan Hanson teaches a number of intro-level courses like American history. So probably a lot of students have to take her class as a requirement. I'm guessing this is a big class with a lot of TAs. So hopefully those students don't have to spend too much time with her, because Susan Hanson's publications are often sponsored by the Witherspoon Institute, which is a conservative think tank. She's published great works. Students' publications include this one about Henry Adams and America being another Rome. This one, which talks about how the Gettysburg Address is really about religion. And then there's these great remarks.
The Greco-Roman Judeo-Christian tradition that shaped the form of national identity that grew up on this soil. Then the cultural scorched earth policy of the radical left might already have exterminated all patriotism in the hearts and minds of the young.
Does that sound like cancel culture? Well, it should, because she's used that phrase. One of her colleagues used China virus in a syllabus, and she stood up for him as the chair and made sure to remind everyone academic freedom is gone. You can't just be straight up racist in your syllabi anymore. And clearly her harassment of this student is racially motivated. If this woman was white, she wouldn't have done anything. And clearly because he is white and she finally listens to him. But the thing I find crazy is that this woman spending all this time reshaping American history as a white nationalist history when her father was one of the longest standing spies for the Soviet Union the United States ever had. Yep. Her father is Robert Hanson, master of the double life. He raised his 6 kids religious and conservative Catholic. They were supporters of Opus Dei. And here is a great ode to Susan Hanson, American history professor at her high school, Oakcrest, while at the same time, starting in 1979 and all the way through 1991, he was spying for the Soviet Union. And he didn't accidentally get into this. He went to the Soviet Union to offer to spy. He also allowed his friends to secretly watch him with his wife at night, you know. In other words, this guy was pretending to be super religious while doing all kinds of very unethical things. I mean, like, he is an FBI agent for us and then spying for the Soviet Union. You could go look at the FBI website about him. This is my issue with conservatives. She is reshaping history, missing out on all swaths of history, partly to make up for the fact that her family has a cuckoo history. Her father spied for decades. And now she's over here harassing kids? I'd like to leave you with this response somebody made to that terrible speech about American white nationalism she gave. And he said that just because you want to talk about the religious institutions of our nation, you should remember piety does not entail forgetfulness. And I think conservatism basically does. That and racism.